Hello, beautiful light beam. Welcome back to Soul Led Spirit Driven, the podcast. I am, as always, delighted that you are joining me here for the next half hour. So, today I am trying something different. Now, if you're listening to this via your usual podcasting app, you may not notice this difference. But I'm actually recording video and audio because, and you may not know this, but I have a teeny tiny little YouTube channel. And I've been posting here and there interviews, mostly because I want you to meet the person, the voice behind all the wisdom, behind the inspiring interviews. And now I thought, why not share the solo episodes as well? If it works, it works. It would be super fun. And you'll get to see how I record my podcast. Although I must admit, normally I'm not sitting here where I'm sitting right now. Usually you would find me in my car studio or in my wonderful walk-in wardrobe studio. So just wanted to put this out there. Hopefully the sound will be still good for you and you won't have any interferences or irritating background noises. Let's see how we go here. This, as you know, is a very raw, uncut podcast. And I don't edit things out because, oh my goodness, I am doing it all on my own. And I do like to pump out these episodes on a weekly basis. And I think if I had to go and fluff over the minutiae, the details of, editing a podcast episode, I don't think we would have weekly episodes. So I hope that this doesn't deter you from listening and that you still get a lot of learnings and teachings, knowings, and inspirations from each and every episode. With that said, my dear friend, this week we are talking about ways that you can tell the future. I'm actually going to give you 10 ways, and most of them, pretty much all of them, except maybe one, you can do yourself. But before we go there, let me just give you a little disclaimer. I really think it is important for me to acknowledge here that our future is not set in stone. I know that we all see this earthly life in a different way, and we see our existence in a different way. So I will just share with you my knowings, my experiences, and the reason I believe that we have multiple timelines, that there is multiple outcomes that are available to us, is because I have seen it through loved ones that have come through for my clients. I have seen it through my guides who have tried to explain to me how it works. And also I have seen it through my clients who came to me because either they were told when they were younger that they are going to have 2 marriages and they're currently with their first partner, so in love, believing this is a soulmate relationship, cannot even imagine being with anyone else, but for some reason this is at the back of their mind. So it kind of disempowers them. But also I have had clients who have been told that they're going to have 3 children or 4 children, and they've just had their second, cannot imagine having any more, or their husband has decided no more. Whatever reason, they know they're not going to have any more, but at the same time, my client is feeling guilty because there are these other souls that were supposed to come into this world. So I have to undo a bit of damage there. Now, it's not entirely the psychic's fault. So assuming that we're talking about genuine psychics who really have good intentions. Some psychics only see one timeline. And this could be because that's how they were trained. This is a part of their belief system, or, you know, they have not opened themselves up to see more. Now we could go into so many directions here, but let's stay on topic, my friend. So, so that we can land this plane for you. So these psychics that see only one timeline, they're seeing this timeline based off the energy that you have here right now. Now, energy flows and changes constantly with every thought, every vision that you have, every idea, every little move that you make, your emotions that you allow to rule you or you rule them, right? You're changing, you're flowing, the energy flows through you all the time. But in this very moment, as you are sitting across from a psychic, if she tunes into you, she will give you the timeline that you are on right now. And because she doesn't perceive other timelines, again, due to her own perhaps BS, belief system, you are given this set in stone, this is what's going to happen, which feels a little bit disempowering. Because when you think about it, if our future is set in stone, if everything is pre-planned to a T, what would be the point of coming down here? What would be the point of enduring things, of experiencing different things? Like what would be the learning point if a soul knew in advance this is how this lifetime is going to pan out and there is no room for movement, change, or anything else? But my guides have shown me that when a soul makes a plan, it's a general plan. Really, the only two things that are really certain is point A, how we get here, and point B, when we exit. That's it. And aside from some perhaps huge monumental events that the soul said, I need to, or I want to go through this in order to really finally learn this life lesson, everything else is left for the soul to have a human experience, use their free will, and plug in the details. So I wanted to say this because this is really, really important. Your future is energy. Your timeline is energy, which means that basically it is shapeable. It can be rearranged, changed every moment, every minute, every thought that you have builds onto that timeline. So how can we tell the future? I'm going to share with you 10 ways that you can tell the future. And hopefully this will give you an idea of how this really possibly works. And I have to say possibly because none of us really 100% knows from where we are standing. Nothing is set in stone. It is our experience that kind of co-creates this bigger picture experience, I guess. Okay, so the first one, I have my notes here, by the way, which if you're listening to this, you wouldn't even know that I do. But if you're watching this now on YouTube, then you might see me glance down because I would not be able to remember all these, and I didn't want to make up some other things. I thought the ones that Spirit has given me, the 10 practical ways, sounded fantastic, and I want to make sure that I give you those and not my own, Kasha's made up ways. So the first point is cards. Now, whether it's oracle cards, whether it's tarot cards, they are like playing Pictionary with your guides. Your guides will use these pictures to show you the messages, the guidance with more detail. So you can ask open-ended questions. Now, it is my personal belief that when we have a deck of, well, especially tarot, because tarot has a specific framework certain meanings. We have the suits, we have the court cards, we have major arcana, minor arcana. By the way, did you know that arcana means secrets? So major arcana means major secrets, minor arcana means minor secrets. So it is my personal belief that when we play with cards, we first of all need to have a very playful approach. Don't take it too serious. Don't think bad things will happen because you're playing with tarot. I certainly thought that. And remember, what you give focus, that amplifies. They're supposed to be fun. And they're even more fun when you learn how to read them intuitively. And that means allowing spirit to work with you as opposed to using your analytical mind and reading from a book. So when you read from a book, you're basically getting the same meaning all the time. But when you allow yourself to read them intuitively, all you have to do is just familiarize yourself with the pictures. What do they mean to you? So whether it's oracle cards or tarot cards, you can tell the future, you can ask questions, you can ask specific questions, open-ended, close-ended. You can work with your guides, you can work with your higher self, you can look into the future of a few months, a few years, right now, this week, all of it. But what is really important to remember is that each time when you are showing something, it's just what is available to you. So please don't think this is how it's going to happen necessarily, because you have the power and you can change things. But cards are a great way to also show you how to maneuver through certain bumps in the road, or where to steer clear of, or what to watch out for. Number 2 is pendulum. Pendulum, in my opinion, is a physical representation of your intuition. So if you are currently working on strengthening your intuition, if you're currently trying to learn how to trust that inner guidance, then pendulums will work really well for you, because you get to see clearly what your intuition is trying to say, or actually what your higher self is trying to tell you through your intuition. So pendulums, unlike tarot cards, work only with close-ended questions. So you have to ask questions where the answer is yes, no, maybe. Each pendulum has a specific way of showing you yes, no, or maybe. And for me, all my pendulums, when they show yes, it's back and forth. When they show no, it's anti-clockwise circle. And it's with all of them. So when you get a pendulum, ask, show me a yes, show me a no. Now, what I also do, and I love doing this, especially when I'm doing sessions so that my sitter can see, my client can see how the pendulum works, is I ask a question where I know the answer is yes. So is my name Kasha? And a pendulum will show a yes. And then I ask a question where I know the answer will be no. So I would ask, is my name Santa Claus? The pendulum inevitably says no. So that's pendulum, which is a second tool, way to tell the future. Number 3, and this is becoming my favorite way, although I am biased because I do love my cards, but automatic writing. Now, automatic writing, unlike journaling, doesn't happen in your analytical thinking mind. It happens by you opening yourself up to higher guidance, to guidance from your guides, your higher self, angels, ascended masters, Akashic masters. I personally like to work within the Akashic field. And actually, in Earth School in 2023, this will be a leading tool, as it will be in Soul School, because it is so powerful. And it really, really helps, especially if you're a very left brain person and you're struggling a little bit recognizing the connection that you have. Of course, our guides are talking to us all the time. Spirit talks to you all the time, but sometimes it is difficult to hear or discern between what are our own thoughts and what is coming from them. Automatic writing is fantastic. It's a tool that helps you, changes your energy, raises your vibration, heals, and especially if you're working in the Akashic records. Now, the reason I love using automatic writing in the Akashic records is because Akashic records are another way, another modality, another, I guess, energy circle where you receive higher guidance. Now, without going into too much about Akashic records, because I have done episodes here and I have spoken to Akashic record readers, so you can go ahead after this episode and listen to those. And if you're watching this on YouTube, there is an interview I've done with Jen Holmes, I believe, that you can watch, and it tells you a little bit more about the Akashic records. But that is in itself very tricky for some because they don't know where they're going and what they are channeling. So automatic writing combined with the Akashic energy is powerful. Powerful, so healing. So if you're in Earth School and you're listening to this, get excited because we will be using this tool to change your life, transform the way you navigate through this earthly life. And if you're in Soul School, then you can get just as excited about it because we will be using automatic writing within the Akashic records to help you strengthen your abilities, strengthen your gifts, and find ways and purpose of using those beautiful gifts of yours. So automatic writing is number 3. Trusting those hunches. And that is number 4. Now, if you have done my intuition workshop, you would learn that your intuition doesn't just come through the gut feeling, through that hunch. It is experienced through all your clairs, through clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentient, and claircognizance. Those hunches, those gut feelings is a really probably the most identifiable way for anyone, even people who wouldn't say that they are spiritual or woo-woo or any of that, who think they're very left brain, but know that they have this hunch, this gut feeling. And it is, of course, intuition coming through. But I want you as this beautiful awakened light beam to know that your intuition speaks to you through different ways. But if you have a hunch or a gut feeling, just know that this is your intuition telling you something about your path, about your future. So number 5 is asking your guides, And this is something that, again, you can combine with automatic writing, with those hunches, but you can actually talk to your guides. You can ask them for guidance. You can ask them to show you what it will be the outcome here. Is this the best path for me? Is this decision going to be good for me? Give me a sign, give me a symbol, and they will interact with you and speak to you. I have actually on my website, if you go to my website, the homepage, and you scroll down, I have 5 keys to help you to hear your guides better. So if you are currently struggling a little bit, or you're not sure whether you have this clear connection to your guides, or you don't even know if you have any guides, you will love that workshop, those 5 keys to a better connection. So asking guides is number 5. And now comes number 6, which is a little bit similar. And it is asking before you go to sleep. Now, when we are going to sleep, our mind sort of goes to rest as well. So it kind of accepts guidance messages that are coming from above or anywhere else but the analytical mind. And so it's easier to receive that guidance, receive those messages. Now, also something happens to your subconscious that when you ask things, now let's backtrack. The thoughts that you have right before sleep, before, that last hour especially, they tend to seep into your sleep time. They tend to keep your subconscious working. So if you have negative thoughts, worrying thoughts, if you read something negative just before bed, scary, watched a scary movie, you are bound to have nightmares, but so much more. It's kind of telling your subconscious, how to operate the next day, how to perhaps operate the next week, right? And so often people wake up feeling a bit blah. So intentionally, you can actually use this magical time, this last hour before sleep, and especially as you are about to drift off, to ask for guidance. For me personally, I have received healing. My clients who have done Liberato have stepped away from fear. I say we because I was in the same situation. I wanted so badly to see spirit, to connect with spirit, but at the same time, I had this irrational fear of who I will see or what will happen when I see spirit with my human eyes. And I asked my guides to help me clear this, and it happened over, I think, 2 or 3 nights, not consecutive nights, but it just so happened that they came at nighttime. And it's a long story. I feel like I've shared this here somewhere with you guys. But the point was, when they came and I felt and I saw 2 spirits from about the 19th century or late 19th century, maybe early 20th century. It was an older woman and a girl, and they came. My heart started racing, and I was like, at first I was a little bit confused. Am I still dreaming? Am I not dreaming? But my heart was racing so fast, I thought I'm going to have a heart attack. And they said, you can't be afraid. This is what you wanted. If you want to see spirit, you can't be afraid. And that didn't help. But what helped was immediately I went into, please take a step back. The energy is overpowering. And when I said that, I felt my heart was slowing down and I could feel this energy moving a little bit away. So often my students ask me how I perceive them with my human eyes, and it really looked like, smoke from sage, that really thick smoke. But in my mind's eye, I had the whole picture of what they look like. And what else I've learned that night from them is, see how you see us now and you don't doubt yourself. Because my heart, my body was reacting to it. Anyways, this is getting off track, but my point is, I received this very real, very healing in my sleep time. And now I'm not scared. Since then, I'm not scared. I can actually go outside in the dark and I'm not scared at all. So long story short, before sleep time, if you ask for guidance, if you have a question in relation to your future, to, your choices, your path, your purpose, you will receive guidance much easier because your analytical mind isn't interfering. And you don't have that resistance, so you can see more. Number 7 is meditation, but the deep theta state. That's what you want. Meditation, even if you just meditate for 5 minutes a day, as you know, I am a huge believer in meditation, and I love it so much. I mean, I will never stop talking about meditation because it is a powerful tool. But if you really want to without a shadow of a doubt, I guess, see your future, you have to go a little bit deeper. So if you're a newbie to meditation, 5 minutes may not be enough. You may have to go 20 minutes. You may have to take yourself into a theta state, which is the dream state. Your brainwaves slow down, right down, and you are seeing or experiencing things from your guides, because again, very much like in your sleep state, your thinking mind isn't interfering. So try meditation, try perhaps with 5 minutes. If you want to go into theta, there are many wonderful videos, guided meditations. Personally, I think if you want to see your own future, guided meditation might be a little bit distracting. But I am trying to remember, I think it's Vana. I will have to look this up. Oh gosh, my Liberato peeps, you will remember, because I struggled with this beautiful lady's name. But she's done theta healing. She is the one that discovered theta healing. So even if you type in theta healing, it will only really bring you back to that lady, the author. She has phenomenal books, and you can use the practice to get yourself into a theta state. You can also reach theta states through sounds, music, such as the solfeggio or binaural beats. Okay, so meditation is number 7, and now comes number 8, manifesting and visualizations. And this is interesting because we're going to go beyond the vision board. But up until now, I was sharing with you things where your guides will show you, right? Will guide you on this path, will reveal to you like what's around the corner, what is on your path. And now I'm giving you a way, a practice that seems to be coming from you, right? Because manifesting, visualization means we are visualizing what our future is meant to be. We're visualizing what we want to manifest. So how does this work? So without digressing again, because I feel like this episode is going to be a little bit all over the place, but hang in there. Visualizing, I'm trying to think how to explain this so it makes sense and we don't sit here for another hour. Okay, visualizing is seemingly, it feels like it's coming from you. But if you can visualize something, that means it is already out there, it's already available, it's your soul telling you this is for us. So this can feel a little bit triggering for people who believe they're sovereign beings and life happens through them. They are the puppet masters. But you see, life really, or your future, the way this lifetime is created, it's a little bit of the universe showing you what you need to know. So the guidance that we get, because your soul has pre-planned a few little stopovers along the way, right? And it's also the fun stuff that you as a human then want to experience, right? Because we have free will. And the way this game works is the soul wants to learn, let's say, self-love or gratitude or wealth and abundance. So it says, okay, well, at some point I would like to stop over here, or I would like to experience this before I get to be. But then when it merges into this human body, when we put on this suit, when we play this character in this earthly life, we get to play here with the stuff that is vital and important to the 3D world, not so much the spirit world. And using your free will, you can say, well, I want to experience gratitude, but I want to experience it in a fun way where I have a lot of money and I'm going to share it with everyone. And the soul does not object because like, okay, let's go, right? I mean, remember, we're one and the same. So you get to choose how you want to play it. And this is where visualization, it feels a little bit like it's coming from you, but it's also coming from you, through you, from your soul, because your soul goes like, yeah, sure, let's do that. Now, I don't want to get into the whole multi-universe, dimensional, and there's multiple futures that exist and you exist in all of them. And the reason you can imagine something or visualize something is because somewhere you're already living that future. There is already a you living this reality that you're trying to envision. Let's not even go there. That's a whole nother episode. But trust me that you get to co-create, and this is where visualizations are important. You get to tell the universe, this is what I want to experience. This is what I want to play with. I want to play with a lot of money. I want to play with a successful business. I want to be on a stage. I want to be an author. I want to reach people. I want to help them. I want to go to remote villages and help the needy and the poor, right? You get to choose your own adventure here. Please remember this. And this is really, really important. So number 8 was manifesting and visualization, and this goes beyond the vision board. This is you actively, constantly connecting to that energy. In fact, the last transmission last year was so powerful in Earth School because I channeled a practice of how to manifest your future, and so many of the members had their lives change in less than 6 months because of that practice. If you're in Earth School and you haven't seen this, please watch the last transmission. And we're also going to get ready for this year's last transmission, which I don't know yet what it'll be because it's channeled live. All right, my friends, number 9. Now we're going to turn to a professional. Of course, you can always seek a professional psychic, tarot reader, medium, energy, quantum healer, past life regressionist, future progressionist, and they can help you. And this is particularly good if you feel like your active mind is interfering so much that you just don't trust what is coming through. How can I know for sure this is going to happen? Well, you can't. None of us know for sure. All we can do is just throw a dice, hope for the best, hope that what we want is going to come, and we play with the universe, right? But if you need that little bit more of certainty, then seeing a professional psychic at whatever capacity might ease your mind, might actually give you that comfort, that knowing, that permission slip, that it's okay to follow this path, everything will be fine. And number 10 is understanding the concept of multiple timelines. And we actually started with this. This was my disclaimer. If you believe that your future is set in stone, there's only one path, guess what? You will live in that limited pattern. But if we believe that we have multiple timelines, that our future is like walking down a corridor, on your left there are doors, on your right there are doors. You get to choose which door you want to enter. And then you choose a door and you enter through that door, and in that room there's more doors and you get to choose again, and so on and so on. If you believe in that, then you are living the expanded version of yourself here. You are making the most of this earthly experience, basically. Now, in the dark ages, you know, way in the beginning, you know, people didn't believe in a lot of things, didn't know a lot of things, and that was done intentionally so we can grow and learn and evolve, just making it a little bit harder for us souls here. But the name of the game now is the co-creating with the universe. So when you're asking your guides, your higher self, angels, God, Akashic masters for help, you're not being this little tiny human begging, please show me, you know, where's my path? Where do I go? No, we're asking them because we forgot our silly manuals. We forgot them up there and we have no idea what comes next. So we need a little bit of guidance. Now, all these beautiful benevolent beings up there have your manual. They know what you as a soul wrote down, what you want your experience to be like, and they can remind you of it. They will guide you, and then you plug in your own stuff. Well, I want to experience wealth. I want to experience success. I want to travel. I want to have a big family. I want to meet the love of my life, right? You get to do it. You get to show it. So it's a co-creation. It's not one without the other. Not one is better than the other. There's no hierarchy in the spirit world. We are all one. We're all part of the sea of consciousness, and we get to do this together. And the more you believe this, the more you will have these beautiful synchronicities, and things will be bending your way, and the universe will deliver you opportunities to grow and experience and have this amazing adventure. Nothing will feel hard. Nothing will feel like pointless or a failure. It will be just experience that is guiding you more towards what you really want. So tune into the energy of life. Ask questions, ask your guides, use these 10 ways or whichever ways you want, pick your favorite, to tap into the world's, the universe's energy. I feel them trying to come through and channel, but we can't do it now and here because this might take us another half hour, and we are about to wrap this episode up. I hope that you found this helpful. If you have any questions, I would love to hear from you. And as always, I am so grateful that we get to spend this half hour or so together. If you would like to join Earth School or Soul School, I'll put all the links below, and you can either learn more about how to do this live, how to have the best experience while you're here, and then Earth School is going to be that container for you. Or if you already know that you are a psychic, a mystic, a medicine woman, a sorceress, an alchemist, here to share your gifts with others, to do your work through your multi-senses, then please come and join me for Soul School. You will love it. Thank you. I will see you next week or be in your ears. Thanks so much for listening.